Hi everybody! So you guys voted that you wanted to go thrifting with me and you wanted to learn some thrift tips. I have a capsule wardrobe, so when I go thrifting, I am very picky about what I bring into my wardrobe. I focus on natural fibers for my wardrobe, so oftentimes I'm thrifting and I find something very, very cute and I end up not getting it because of material content. So these tips are going to be based on a natural fiber capsule wardrobe thrifting tips. Oh, that was a mouthful. The first thing about thrifting is I think you really have to be in the mood. You have to be in the mood and you have to be patient, because if you don't have the patience to look through everything, you're not going to thrift to your full potential. I look at everything because I like an oversized fit sometimes, or sometimes you'll find things in the men's clothing that actually is like a woman's item. Also, you know, men's clothing sometimes has perfect fits. So sometimes looking in the men's clothing anyways is a great idea. I definitely think it's worth looking at all the sizes. As with any type of shopping for a capsule wardrobe, I think it's really important to have a list. This helps just to keep you on track. With thrifting, I think it's a little bit easier to be more careless because the price is so good, because you feel good about it being a secondhand item. Another thing is sometimes pieces maybe won't be the perfect fit and they'll need altered, and that's okay, especially if you can sew or you can make your own alterations. I think that's great. Sometimes if it's not the right color but the fit is perfect, the material is perfect, everything else is great but the color is not, make it a dye project. I know I feel more comfortable dyeing things that have been thrifted because I just don't have a lot of dye experience. Every piece that I find at a thrift store, I pull it out and I check the material content. And most of the time, the material content is not natural fibers and I have to put it back. Sometimes I get lucky and it is natural fibers. It's a piece that will fit me and it'll work great, and I get super excited about those. But most of the time, they're not natural fibers. I have thrifted enough that I'm kind of to a point where I can be at the thrift store and running my hands along the fabrics and I can tell what fabric it's gonna be. I'm not perfect, I don't know every single one of them, I'm not a professional, but if you go thrifting enough, you'll start to feel the difference. It's pretty obvious when you pick up a 100% wool piece that it is 100% wool. You know, I don't know every piece that I pick up what the material is gonna be. I always check, and that is how you learn. One of my favorite thrift tips is to look at things that are out of season. So I was thrifting sweaters for fall and winter midsummer, maybe even earlier than that, because when it's summer, people aren't thrifting sweaters, they're thrifting tank tops. When you go to a thrift store, these are items that are used and were donated. You're not going to have like multiple of the same items, so you have to get it while you can. And my best tip, I think, for thrifting is to look for things out of season. When I go to the thrift store in the summer, the tank tops are slim pickings. You're not gonna find any cute tank tops. You're not gonna find any cute shorts. But it's December now. If I go to the thrift store and I look for shorts, I'm gonna find a handful of stuff because people are still cleaning out their closets. It doesn't matter if it's shorts or tank tops, they're still cleaning out their closets. But the people who are buying the things that are in season. They wanna stay warm for the winter, so they're buying that stuff in fall. Always stay ahead of the seasons. Having an intentional wardrobe, I think it's important to suggest here that you try things on. Trying things on and making sure that it's something that you're actually gonna wear is really, really important. And I think it's a good way to stop impulse buys from happening, because like I mentioned, it's hard at a thrift store because there's such great prices. You have that fear of missing out because at the thrift store there's only one of it, and you feel like if you don't get it now, you're gonna miss out on it. And that's all reasonable because it's all probably true, but that doesn't mean that it's something that you need to have in your wardrobe right then and there. It still needs to fit within your parameters of what your wardrobe should be, and it still needs to fit your body type and be something that you actually want to wear. I think this is just obvious for any secondhand clothing, but I just want to say it anyways. Always look for holes, always look for stains, and sometimes stains will come out and sometimes holes can be mended, and that's great. But I do think it's worth knowing and looking for those things prior to making the purchase. Something else I think is also probably something we all know, but but wash it before you wear it. But those are my thrift tips. My intention of this video was to go thrifting, take you along on a thrift trip with me, and then show you everything I got. But I have a capsule wardrobe and I'm very picky about what I bring in. And I went to the thrift store. I picked out like a coppery t-shirt and it was very cute. It was natural fibers. I wasn't convinced the fit was gonna be right, but I thought it was really cute. I put it in my cart. I walk around with it for a while. I always do that when I shop. I like to think about my purchases prior to making them. Then I found another top that was really cute, and it was actually a color that I would wear, and it was a style top that I've been looking for, but the material content was not completely natural fibers. And at the end of the trip, when I went to go leave, I put everything back and I came home empty-handed. So I'm sorry that you guys aren't gonna get to see a thrift haul. There will be more in the future because I like to thrift. The things that I found today, they did not fit into my wardrobe. Right when I left the thrift store, I walked out to the car and I checked my phone, and my friend Allie, if you're watching this, hi. Allie had left a message on my Instagram and said, when you're thrifting, how to know if you actually need it or if it's an item that you're just getting because you're bored. I went to the thrift store. I had intentions of making this video, and I think that's all I really had intentions of because there just wasn't anything I really needed, and I realized that before checking out. And I like to be very, very intentional with my wardrobe. So if it's not something that's gonna fill a gap, if it's not something that I need, I'm not gonna purchase it. I'm not perfect. There are times when I do purchase things I don't need, but in that moment, I thought to myself, you know what? I'm just doing this to entertain you guys. I'm not doing this to be true to my capsule. So I decided, put it back, walk out. It's a good lesson to learn because when you go thrifting, sometimes you find amazing things. Sometimes you find a few amazing things, and those days are great, but it's just not always like that. I think it was a good lesson to come home with nothing and just provide a bunch of thrift tips instead. I hope you guys found this helpful, and next time we do a thrift haul, we will have a haul to share. I will share an actual thrift haul. So if you enjoyed this video, if you found some of these tips helpful, go ahead and let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what your guys' thrift tips are or anything that you found valuable in this video. And make sure you subscribe so you know when my next video gets posted. If you want to find me on Instagram, I'm from Soil to Sawdust. Every week I do a little poll and you can tell me what you want me to put on my YouTube channel next. So let me know. I'll see you guys soon.